How's it going, people? TheCompleteRS here, and welcome to your quest guide for Ghosts Ahoy. No fast forwarding, no nonsense, just what we need to know, so let's get into it, shall we? So, quest requirements. You need to have done Priest in Peril for this one, as well as the Restless Ghost. Skill-wise, you will require 25 agility and level 20 cooking. Item-wise, you'll want some thread, 1 silk, a spade and a knife that's not in your tool belt. You'll also want a oak shield bow, 1 nettle tea, a bucket of milk, your Ghost Speak amulet, ideally equipped, as you will be using it throughout the entirety of this quest, basically. You'll also want a bucket of slime from the Active Fungus Temple, 3 red dyes, 3 blue dyes, 3 yellow dyes, and at the very least 6 ecto tokens. Now, the ecto tokens, ideally you want more, say around 40 plus, mainly because there's one part where you have to go around talking to ghosts and they can be bribed for votes if you give them ecto tokens. So it's better to have a nice surplus of it, so get a couple. And as always, recommended stuff, bring along some gear and some food just for the sake of safety and for shits and giggles, because you never know, could come in handy. Starting this quest, you need to go to Port Phasmatis, located just east of Canifis, and we need to speak to Valerina. So, come over towards Port Phasmatis, and just outside the Active Fungus Temple, go ahead and enter. So once you're in Port Phasmatis, just towards your east, you'll see on your minimap a little quest marker. It's this little house by here, and inside you'll find Valerina. Go ahead and talk to her. Run through a chat, choose option 1, what's the matter? Run through it some more, and choose option 1, yes I do, it's a sad story. And then option 1, yes. So once you've done that, you now need to speak to Necrovarus in the Active Fungus Temple, so make your way back outside Port Phasmatis. And speak to Necro, he's literally just wandering around in this main floor here. Run through his chat, and he'll basically tell the fuck off. Lovely. So you want to go back into Port Phasmatis and speak to Valerina once again. So head through the portal, go back into the room, speak to it, run through her chat, and choose option 1, do you know where this woman is? So at this point, it's time to home teleport over to Canifis, save ourselves a little bit of time. We need to go and speak to the old crone, who's located just on the east side of the Slayer Tower. So home port over to Canifis, and from the lodestone, you basically want to run almost directly to your west. If you go up towards the northwest and run through the Ghoul Graveyard and just past the Divination Spot, you'll eventually come across a house just on the outside of the Slayer Tower itself. So from here, run almost directly to your west till you hit the Divination Spot, and from that Divination Spot, just a touch up to the north of it, you'll find the house, and inside is the old crone. So make your way in and go ahead and talk to her. So go ahead and talk to her, run through a chat, choose option 1, I'm here about Necrovarus. And she'll give you a cup. At this point you want to use your bucket of milk on your nettle tea to make milky nettle tea, and then use that milky nettle tea on the cup. Once you've done so, use the cup of milky nettle tea on the old crone, and you'll start another conversation. Run through a chat, and eventually, when you get a bunch of options, choose option 1, you're doing so much for me. And eventually you'll receive a toy ship. So you can go ahead and repair that now, either right click repair or just simply left click and repair it. And we now need to go and fix this up just a little bit more. So go ahead and home port back over to Canifis. And you want to make your way over towards the Canifis allotment patch. So from the lodestone you want to head towards your northeast and basically follow this pathway until you hit the farm. So once you're at the allotment farm, just to the north of that you will find a ship. Make your way inside and head upstairs. Once you're here, head upstairs once again. And on your screen now there'll be a wind speed monitor. You need to wait until it says wind speed is low and then check this mast here. In total you need to check it 3 times and you need to read it each time. It'll list off 3 different colours for 3 different flags, or 3 different sails I should say, and basically we need to copy that onto our mini toy ship. So you need to keep checking this as the wind is low to find out the colours, and then with all the dyes you have in inventory, make up those colours and dye our model ship so it's exactly the same. So all you need to do is simply use the correct colour dye on the ship itself, so they'll ask you if you want to do the top, bottom or the skull emblem. Just dye them so they're the same as what you found out when you was checking out the mast. So eventually, once you've done all of that, you want to head back downstairs and you want to speak to the old man just kind of wandering around. Go ahead and choose option 3, is this your toy boat? And eventually he'll give you a key. So with this key you want to head through the door just to your east and go ahead and use that key on this chest. Upon doing so you'll receive a map fragment. Once you've got the first one, on the north side of the ship you'll find a gangplank leading to the rocks. Go ahead and cross that and jump across all these rocks until you get to the end and you'll find a second chest. Go ahead and open this. Go ahead and search it once you've opened it and you'll receive your second piece. So your third and final one, you need to head back to the ship now, so go back across all of the rocks. Go back onto the ship itself and you need to go down the ladder. So once you're down here, you want to click and search the first chest you find in the southeast corner. It's this one right by here. Go ahead and open it and then search it, and a giant lobster will spawn. Go ahead and stab it in the face. It's only level 42, so I mean you shouldn't have much problems here. Once that's dead, go ahead and search the chest again and you receive that third and final fragment. Go ahead and use one of the fragments on another fragment piece and you'll obtain a map. So with this map we now need to go to Dragontooth Isle. In order to get there we need to go over to Port Phasmattis. So from here, run over towards your east till you hit the Ectofungus Temple and then head into the port. So once you're in Port Phasmattis, you want to head over to the docks on the east side, and on the northeast side you'll find a ghost captain just wandering around. You need to speak to him to get a ride over to Dragontooth Isle. There's this little fella here with the tiny little boat. So once you're on Dragontooth Isle, technically you can use the map and walk space by space by space by space, but I'm pretty certain this is exactly the same for everybody. So I'm going to show you where it is. Essentially it's right in the centre of the bottom island right here. So keep following what I'm doing on screen till eventually I stop and dig in place. It is quite literally right in the centre of that bottom section of this island. So once you're down by here, it's right in between these 3 bushes right here. So go ahead, stand here and go ahead and dig. As soon as you do so, you should obtain a book. So with the Book of Harry Kanto, we've now basically done what we need to do in Dragontooth Isle. So just stand in that spot, dig with your spade, you should receive that book. Once you've got the book, you want to head back to Port Phasmattis, so go back to the Ghost Captain and travel. And we now need to speak to Akharano, which is the Asian samurai looking fella just outside the pub. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Choose option 1, OK, wait here. And you now need to play a stupid little minigame which will either take you 2 seconds or 20 minutes. It's utterly random and you can only hope for the best. So you need to go in the pub and speak to Robin. He's typically wandering around in this southern room. Choose option 2, talk about something else. And then just say option 1, yes, I'll give you a game. So the idea here is essentially you would draw random runes. Different runes end up giving you different amounts of points. Essentially, just keep going until you win 4 games. In a nutshell, that's all you got to do. So the rules to this game, essentially, if you draw a death rune, then that's it, you're out, essentially. And all your runes from A all the way up to Nature's give you varying values. A's being the very first rune you can make, give you 1 point, then Mines for 2, Water for 3, Earth for 4, 5 for 5, etc, all the way up to Nature's for 9. And it all comes down to whoever gets the most points wins. Apparently, it is more likely for you personally to draw a death rune than it is for Robin. So once you get up to a healthy amount of points, say 20 or so, you can hold if you wish and hope Robin draws a death rune or just quits beforehand. But essentially, just keep drawing. Honest to God, just keep going in this, start a new game, draw until eventually you get 4 wins. As soon as you do, the next time you speak to him and choose option 2, talk about something else, you'll throw a little hissy fit and he'll sign your oak bow. Once he's done that, you now need to go and speak to Akarano again to give it to him. So once you've handed over that oak bow, it's time to move on to the next section. So you need to go back into the pub and speak to the ghost Innkeeper. Talk to him. Run through his chat. And choose option 4, do you have any jobs? Run through his chat some more, choose option 1, yes, I'd be delighted. And he'll give you a bed sheet. Go ahead and use your bucket of slime on that sheet. And then you want to head outside into the marketplace and you'll see a ghost by the name of Gravingus. He's normally chanting bollocks. That's the one you need to speak to. Choose option 1 after hearing Villanora's story. And you'll then ask us for going around and getting a petition on the go. So the idea is now you need to speak to random ghosts until you get 10 signatures. There's a cheap way to do this. If you find one ghost that likes to give out signatures, kind of bounce between 2 ghosts constantly or keep asking the same one again and again and again and again and again. Eventually you will get the 10 signatures. It takes a little while. Some of them might just sign it straight off. Some of them might require ecto tokens. And some of them will just tell you to fuck off, essentially, even though you're talking to exactly the same NPC. It's basically just bounce between 1 or 2 ghosts constantly, and eventually you'll get those 10 signatures. And this is why I said it's probably a better idea for you to get some extra ecto tokens, because not all of them will give you the signature for nothing. And it'll save you quite a lot of time. So eventually, once you finally get 10 signatures, might take you a little while, you now need to go and speak to Gravingus once again. Then you want to go over to the Ectofungus Temple and speak to Necrovarus. Run through his chat. And underneath him you should find a bone key. Go ahead and take it. Once you have that key, head up the stairs. And on the south side of this room, you have to run all the way around, is a doorway. Go ahead and use the key on that to enter. Open the coffin up inside, go ahead and search it, and you'll receive his robes. At this point we now need to go back to the old crone just outside the Slayer Tower, so it's time to teleport over to Canifis. And once again, quickest way to get there is simply go up towards your northwest, towards the Divination area. And just north of that Divination area, you'll find the old crone's house. So once you're over here, go ahead and talk to it. Choose option 1. I have something for you. She'll then take the robes away from you, and she'll enchant your Ghost Speak Amulet. So with your enchanted Ghost Speak Amulet, you now need to go back over to Necrovarus and talk to him again. So go ahead and home port over to Canifis, save yourself a little bit of time. From the lodestone, head up towards your northeast, and follow this pathway all over to the allotments, and then just run east of the allotments to get to the Ectofungus Temple. Once there, go ahead and speak to Necrovarus. So once you're here, go ahead and speak to him, run through his chat nice and quick, choose option 1, let any ghost. And we'll basically mind control the poor fucker. Either way, once that's done, head back into Port Phasmatis and speak to Valerina one last time. And that is it. Quest complete. Job done. So, for completing this, you get 2 quest points, 2,400 prayer XP. You also gain free passage into Port Phasmatis from now on, and the all-important Ectophile, the granddaddy of oh shit teleports. And there we go, that's pretty much it. That is Ghosts Ahoy done. Hopefully you found this guide useful. And until next time, I'll catch you all later. Have a good one.